Alright, so welcome back to another video, but now on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So in today's video, I just want to make a quick recap of the e-commerce, right? And the reason of why to learn about e-commerce, because the section 4 from this course made by Paul Mendes, this Zero to Mastery instructor about, well, how to become a business consulting freelancer. The first model we talk about is how to get started building a consulting career. The second model is that once you know the fundamentals, well, getting started as a freelance consulting career. And the third model, look at where you can find and land high paying consulting clients. So right now on this section 4, okay, on how to conduct a research and gather quality data. So first I look at, yes, so data is something very, very important and powerful because it can help you to inform, persuade, uh, or reinforce your point of view, but also can be misleading. And it's important, especially when you're conducting a research for a consulting project, to identify the most and the least valuable source. So you have first party data that comes from the company itself. They might be behind to some Indian agreement. So once you agree to sign that, well, you can look as far uh, back as data as they have, so you can see how they have been performing and how you can provide your suggestions based on this data. The secondary data is from trust sources where they are not anonymous. They have a great record of research report, peer review. They might or not, depend on the trust source, you have to pay or not. And then you have is the least valuable, the third party data source or from aggregate source where you can verify the quality of his data. Sorry, but it's important to have them, okay, just for presentational and for demo purpose, right? Especially if you are not able to access to their first party data or their second party data, right? So you're not able to access to the data company's data. There are few or inexistent trust source in that field or that area, um, and you only have is these aggregate sources. So data that comes or source that comes from anonymous source, that you cannot verify the quality of each source. So then I look at how to conduct a research uh, from the bigger picture, right? By looking at, play devil's advocate with yourself always, okay? Because things are not black and white. Gather relevant information as much as possible. Keep notes in uh, keep records or every source you obtain, and then check the quality of those sources. So where did this come? Where does this source come from? Is this an anonymous author? Find out who the author really is. If you're looking for data from a website, let's say ChatGPT or any other source, you verify the quality of this data. Okay, so I saw a case study from the marketing lens Okay, because that's something that Paul Mendes made in the consulting journey, particularly these guidelines, when he made an example of analyzing his a touring website, right? So his guidelines start by looking at their website, understand what they offer, all the products and service, and then go into the specifics. So look about their pricing, category, the company review, what makes this company unique, because this is something that I will gonna use in my consulting suggestions, right? So once you make a website review and the research on their website, the brand, the pricing, how much they charge, um, now it's time to look at the secondary data to make the competitor analysis. This is to first find out who the other players in that industry are in that area, uh, see what you can learn from them, and start to make a keyword research based on your competitor analysis, because that's what you're gonna use in some of these keyword tools. So in there you have several keyword tools, uh, keywords tools, right? You have from Google, you have keyword research tool, right? Like keywordtool.io, WordStream, Zapier mentioned also. But you're gonna do this keyword research again to get a clear idea of what's going on in that industry. And then on top of this, you're gonna make now more broad analysis or research by looking at the world's news and to see how everything that you have researched can be applied to what is most likely to work today. And that includes is look at the regulation and how that industry is adapting to regulations and where this industry is going. Okay, so because of that, of this guideline, that's the reason why I choose to make a custom practice, okay, of performing or create a POC, this proof of concept, e-commerce with Vue, Nuxt, and um, Vue, Nuxt, and this headless CMS called Strapping. Okay, because the whole idea here is to see uh, what an e-commerce is, the concepts that are the fundamental of this, and then how you can apply to the technological aspect, all right? Which things start to make much more sense because now you have a solid foundation, an understanding of why you're doing this, right? So why you're making this POC, and understand what are the necessary tools that allow you to make a POC e-commerce. So to understand what is e-commerce, well, according to Amazon, this is the transaction of goods and service over the internet. It is your bustling city center if you're a very large company, or your brick and mortar shop transformed into zeros and ones on the superhighway internet or on the internet superhighway. So Shopify mentioned that uh, whether a business refers to all aspects of operating an online business. So e-commerce only focus on a transaction of good and service, right? So that's what it is. That's what are an e-commerce. Okay, is the transaction of good and service. So understand this fundamental aspect of e-commerce, okay, that the whole idea, especially from building a website and things like that, is that it's focused on the transaction of good and service in between business and company. So, talking about business and company and how you have different uh, business models in there, right? Uh, Such as yeah, how do you have different business models, right? Such as uh, business to consumers, which is the most common business model. In e-commerce, business to consumers. Uh, the example of this are online retailers such as Amazon, Target in the US, or Walmart, right? So consumers purchase goods and service to online retailers. So you have this online retailer. You have also digital marketplace, where now consumers purchase goods and service, but to individuals or small business. And business create these digital ecosystems, such as Etsy or eBay. So you have also subscription models where now consumers can sign up for a product or service, such as delivery meal or meal delivery, is that, or uh, online streaming, such as Netflix or Spotify. Another is um, the online booking, uh, where now consumers can book a flight or a hotel or a car in place like Expedia, Airbnb, or Booking, which is top leader in that industry, and online food ordering and delivery. So now consumers can order food from online restaurants in places like Uber Eats, DoorDash in the case of the US, but here on Argentina or in Latin America, you have Expeditos Ya, Rappi, Globo, you name it, right? Cool, cool. Uh, because with that, all right? Yeah, because with that, now then I look at another business model, like the business to business, where now business is purchase or sell their good and service to business, such as the digital marketplace, where now business create the marketplace for business, such as Amazon e-business, Alibaba, eBay business. You also have EDI, the electronic data interchange. So operations or um, statements that company usually generate on paper, such as purchase order or invoice. Now they do that electronically, and they exchange that through IBA system. Okay, you also have this online supplier. So very large business organizations, they set up an online supplier portal to streamline their supply chains and their procurement process, the purchase of goods or assets from a business, aka at scale, for or to get a good bid on that, right? So you have things like the Walmart supplier centers or SAP Arriva network, wholesale e-commerce, where now manufacturers and distributors uh, sells products to business, such as Gringer or Uline, and business to business payment solutions. So payment providers like PayPal or Stripe, perhaps now Wise as well, they provide is business to business payment solution, okay, to streamline that process. That's what's interesting because now I look at the consumer to business model. Okay, and this consumer to business model, which is something that I dedicate quite quite a lot of time. Especially, I have dedicated a lot of the time to learn about the basic of this. Uh, yeah, to learn the basic about business like that, and how important is to do that, right? How important is to do that. hmm So now looking here at the oh, sorry. So now looking here at the uh, consumer to business model, uh, you have this. So now consumers offer their good or service to business. So for example, freelance work where consumers offer products or service to business, such as freelance writer, graphic design, web development in platforms like Upwork, uh, Fiverr, or freelance. So that was my first approach in how can I generate revenue. Okay, using this consumer to business approach, right, from freelance work. How sustainable it is? It's gonna depend because at the long, yeah, on the long run, it might be a good for you, especially if you provide. I mean, you focus on outcome, which is after all that's what it is. If you focus on outcomes, of course you're gonna do that, right? And the other is uh, online service. So consumers can participate in online service uh, for market or in paid service for market research purpose, right? So you have SurveyMonkey, for example, user generated content. So it's now consumers who create and offer their products and service to business, whether it's photo or audio or video in places like Shortshot or in Battle. Okay, this is another uh, business model from consumers. Again, this is just example of the most common on that business model. Also, you have this um, crowdfunding. I barely use that crowdfunding, but crowdfunding is something that we can use, and a lot of people is limit to that because there are no one. There's a lot of people is like, wish you the best. So crowdfunding is a place where you can get, okay. So crowdfunding is a place where you can get. So crowdfunding is a place where consumers can raise funds for the project or idea, such as Indiegogo, Kickstarter, among others, and reverse auctions. So this reverse auctions uh, is now consumers that put their price quota on product and service, such as name your price or price line. In price line here, Okay, so price line here is one of subsidiary. No, no. So it's one of it is come on, man. It's one of the subsidiaries, or is part of a booking holding. Booking.com. It's like, oh, okay, man. So now that you have is that you understand things like this, military members and veteran sites. Now that you understand this, uh, okay. hmm So now I look at the other business model, right? Such as government to business and government to consumers. You may wonder, is like, why do I need to look at this? Okay, well, because again, this is just to conciliate myself with the nature of things. Okay, uh, so here we got example of government to business, and this is servers that uh, mhm. So provide they provide online. So government provide online platforms to business, whether it's public procurement portal, where now many government agencies provide online platforms for business to bid on government contracts, such as FBO, the Federal Business Opportunity in the United States, or the UK government contract finder service. Uh, Most of the time, this contract or this government contracts, in the case of Latin America, they're just purely based on speculation and over budget. And that's what happened. And that's because that's where the business are, right? That's where a business is. That's where a business lies in this government contractors. So, for example, a huge amount of companies and corporations in Venezuela, right, and also in Argentina and Brazil, in Colombia as well, is like they bid for contract from they bid on government contract. They overcharge governments, and they end up being no more. You know what? They end up being no more than they end up not even pay it. They end up not even put the angular stone. Most of it, or just barely enough. They leave a lot of mm-hmm, things. They leave a lot of again, yeah. Okay. This is a reflection moment. Okay. Yeah, this is a reflection moment because now I understand why a lot of those government or a lot of those business based on government contracts, uh, they never end up building or finish the construction. For example, right in Venezuela, in the case of Venezuela, which is something that I have or that I am quite familiar with, and because that's not the business is not on uh, finish the client. The business is on overcharging the client, right? And well, in the process, then find some other assets, so find place, so find fiscal paradise where they can, or fiscal havens, uh, where they can deposit their money and generate new revenue, la la la, and everything like that. So yeah, basically is what most of these public government procurement or these public procurement portals or these government contracts are based on, right? Especially on the relationship between the business and the government. And because there are few people, uh, that know how to do this, okay? They know how the finance works, accounting, and how important is that skill for anyone, my friend, for anyone. That's something very, very crucial throughout your life, through your entire life, is the ability to organize your assets and resources. This is a common pattern in many civilizations, cultures, empires that that struggle the most, and how to allocate the resources in a way that are more efficient, or in a way that allows them to move on as a civilization. Uh, while while dealing with our human nature, right? The light and the dark aspect of that. But in any case, in any case, the thing here is that government to business. Mhm. So government to business, all right. An example of government to business models are, well, this public procurement portals. So government, uh, many government agency provides an online platform for business to bid on government contracts, such as the FBO, the Federal Business Opportunity in the US, or the UK government's contract finder service. Okay. The other is tax filing and payment. Okay. And the other is tax filing and payment. Again, many governments provide online tax filing and payment system for business. Okay. And by offering these systems, well, they charge to business. So government charges them. Okay. So the other is tax filing and payment. So tax filing and payment. So many government provides online tax filing and payment systems for business, such as the electronic federal tax payment system. Holy crap! I barely hear about this. It's like it's something, it's something very, very random, very, very hidden. Electronic federal tax payment system. Electronic federal tax payment system. Okay. The electronic federal tax payment system. Payments internal revenue. A free way for the public, business, and federal agency to pay their taxes online. Mm, an electronic federal tax payment system. Okay, quick, secure, and accurate payment. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, scheduled payments up to a year in advance. And their website sucks. It's a government website. It's a government website. It's another government website. Interesting. Treasury Direct. What? What is this? Oh my god. How to purchase saving bonds. How to find 1099 Treasury Direct. How to redeem electronic. Access it. accessing the savings bond calculator, how to edit your bank account in treasury there, right? How to buy digital saving bonds as gift. Oh my god. They use to show student photo and video content. What? Okay. There is a reason why a lot of people barely pay attention to this. Mm, Electronic federal tax payment system. Okay. Okay. All right. License and permits application. Business can often apply for license and permits online, such as food service delivery, custom clearance, and international trade, business registration, and incorporation. Mm, mm. So, example of government to business. All right. Example of government to business. Okay. Okay. Example of government to business are public procurement portals. So many government agency provides online platforms for business to bid on government contracts, such as Federal Business Opportunity, the FBO, or in the United States, or the UK Government Contract Finder Service. Again, this is very a niche. This is a niche for this. The other is that many governments provide online tax filing and payment systems for business. All right. So many government agency provides online. Yeah, many government agency provide online platform for business to bid on government contracts and uh, platforms, okay, or provide online tax filing. Exactly, they provide or platform or systems. Okay, here, so they provide a platform. Many government agencies provide a platform. Uh, yeah, many online platform. Exactly. So many government service offer a online platforms for business to bid on government contracts such as FBO and the UK government contract finders, and provides tax filing provide tax provide online tax filing payment systems to business, such as the electronic federal tax payment system in the US or the HM Revenue, a custom only service in the UK. Mhm. Licensing and permit applications. Business can often apply for licenses and permits online, such as food service license or building permit. Okay, so license and permit applications. Now business can okay. So instead of government also provide license and permits online, such as food service license or building, right? So consumer clearance and international trade. So government provide online service to facilitate cross-border trade, such as electronic custom clearance or export declaration. And the other is business registration and incorporation. Many governments allow business to register or incorporate online, such as Company House in the UK or the US Small Business Administration business formation page. Business registration and incorporation. Many governments allow business to register or incorporate online, such as Company House in the UK or the US Small Business Administration. The US Business the US Small Business Administration business formation page. Mhm. So the things to know for government business, right, is that they provide so many government agencies provide online platforms to business for bid or for business to bid on government contract, such as FBO or the US or the UK government contract filing service, okay, tax filing and payment, all right, tax filing and payment. Oh, so this is public procurement portals. You can also offer uh, online tax filing payment system to business, okay, or for business, such as the electronic federal tax pay system in the US or the HM revenue and custom online service in the UK. Also can issue online license and permits such as food service or building permit. To facilitate the cross-border trade, it provides online service such as electronic custom clearance or export. In business registration or incorporation, where now many governments allow business to register or incorporate online. Mhm. So that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.